What's going on, everybody? It's Game Unboxing Reviews here, and welcome back to another episode of All About Disney. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking all about Stitch. We're going to be talking about his combat moves, how he gets around the world, show off a few screenshots, and lots more. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so I actually have quite a lot of information on Stitch, so this should be a pretty fun video. He's definitely probably one of my most anticipated Disney characters to join 2.0. So first off, in terms of melee combat, Stitch can perform a variety of punches, kicks, and of course a ground pound to take down his enemies. However, if that doesn't do the trick, you could always perform his Demolition Roll. The Demolition Roll is basically, it's quite funny, Stitch actually folds himself up into a ball and he'll destroy everything in his path. This includes objects and enemies, I believe, so that's his melee moves. Really cool. There's lots of gameplay online, and of course I'll link the trailer in the description so you can see it, and you know, much better, so you can get a better example of what you can do in the game. And he seems to be a really fun character to play as. But that was just his close combat abilities. He also has some ranged attacks. So Stitch is also armed with, of course, his trusty blaster. But, you know, that's pretty cool. You'll be able to take down enemies easily, but it won't be as strong as you're hoping. So with the skill tree, you can actually upgrade him so he dual wields 2 blasters at once. Now that is really cool, and I believe, if I remember correctly, that does actually, you know, give you more of a chance to defeat the enemy because you got 2 blasters instead of 1. However, there is something to note here is, once you buy this upgrade, you won't be able to go back to 1 blaster. So this also applies to Nick Fury because he has the same upgrade system where he will start off with 1 gun, but you can also upgrade him to 2. But remember, if you do that, you will be stuck with 2. So you have to choose if you want 1 gun or 2. So yeah, you have to choose that. Stitch also, of course, has a special ability, and this is probably one of my most favorite ones I've seen so far. It's called Armed and Mischievous, and it allows him to unleash a second pair of arms, making him shoot 4 blasters at once. Stitch seems to be an extremely powerful character in this game, so I'm really excited to play as him. And last but not least, Stitch can also be a very fun character to play with in the toy box. You know, if you want to get around the world, you gotta have someone that can do quite a lot of stuff. You know, can they climb buildings and things? Can they fly? Well, Stitch actually has the ability to climb walls and super jump, so you'll never really have a problem getting anywhere with him. So if there's, say, a castle up there you want to get to, you have the choice between jumping and climbing, or maybe you're going to use a combination of both. It's all up to you, really. Okay, so now onto the screenshots. So first off, here we can see Dash, Mickey and Jessie actually riding the 1.0 surfboard, the Stitch surfboard. Now, if you didn't know, in 1.0 in the Incredibles playset, you can unlock a hoverboard, which any character can ride apart from the cars, and it's pretty cool. You know, you can fly around. It's really fun to drive around on. But there was a power disc that was released, which is the one you're seeing here, and it was Stitch on a surfboard. So it's the same thing, it's just kind of like a different skin. It's still pretty cool. I mean, I would really like to try and get that power disc. I still don't have it. I have a few power discs, but I don't have that one, which is a shame. Plus, because it would be really fun, you know, when 2.0 comes out and Stitch comes out, we'll be able to fly around on that as Stitch. So it's like having 2 Stitches on the same surfboard. That'll be pretty cool. Now, the environment is something I'm going to be talking about real soon because it's quite a cool thing I need to mention, but more on that later. Alright, so I know I showed this screenshot off in the last video, but the thing is, like I said in the last video, Tinkerbell and Stitch were announced at the same time, so it's quite hard to find a screenshot just showing off Stitch or just showing off Tinkerbell, because for example, if it's a Tinkerbell one, she will be in the front and Stitch will be in the back, and if it, like here, you can see Tinkerbell's in the back and Stitch is in the front because this is a Stitch screenshot. So like I said in the last video, you can see Tinkerbell with Darkwing Dunn's grappling gun, Stitch with his awesome blaster. Can't wait to play Stitch and just shoot everything. He's going to be such a fun character to play as. Merida with the Toy Story blaster, which is Buzz Lightyear's, and Merida using magic. Now again, the environment is pretty exciting. I can't wait to tell you because it's a pretty cool feature they've added to the game. Now, last but not least, here we have the final screenshot of this video. So here we can see Stitch, Buzz Lightyear, and Merida. Merida's using some type of new weapon, I believe. I have not seen that in 1.0 in the playsets, in any of the 1.0 power discs, and any of the 2.0 power discs so far. I could have missed one, you know, I don't always see everything, but I haven't seen that weapon so far, so maybe it's a new weapon, maybe not. Buzz Lightyear is using a glide pack, which I believe is the one from the Incredibles playset. That's a really fun toy to play with, actually. You can glide around. You can make some really fun challenges with it, actually. And they have added some new versions of that in 2.0. Like, for example, the Marvel side, you can actually get Falcon's wings, the Marvel character Falcon, and you can fly around with them as any character, which is really cool. It doesn't matter who you are either, so you could be Donald Duck with Falcon's wings if you want. It's not restricting you to Disney and Marvel. If you want to use Disney things with Marvel, you can do that, and vice versa, so that's pretty cool. It's a shame they're not the movie version of Falcon's wings, because I just love the wings in that. I love his costume, and hopefully one day maybe he'll be added to 2.0 as a playable character. Let's just hope. And finally, Stitch is actually riding Angus, which is Merida's horse. Now, I do actually have the power disc for Angus already for 1.0, and it's an awesome horse. It's really fun to ride around on, and I think the cool thing about it, though, is that once Merida releases in November, along with the other Disney characters, I'd love to make like a simple, Brave-themed toy box, and then like ride around on Angus and just explore the world. That's going to be a lot of fun indeed. Okay, so we've talked all about Stitch's abilities, how he gets around the world, if he can handle himself in a fight, which he can, and of course we've shown some screenshots. There's only 2 more things left to mention, so first off, as you can see here, this is an image of the Toy Box Starter Pack. The Toy Box Starter Pack is probably more for the Disney fan rather than the Marvel fan. If you're a Marvel fan, everything comes out in September. That means the Spider-Man playsets and characters, the Guardians of the Galaxy playsets and characters, the Avengers characters, and the Marvel Starter Pack, of course, and the Marvel Power Discs. September is the month for the Marvel fan, and November is probably more the Disney fan kind of month for 2.0, because that's when all the Disney content releases. So the Toy Box Starter Pack includes 2 figures, that's Stitch and Merida. It also includes the Disney Infinity display, what you put your power discs, your characters, and your play sets on. The game itself on disc, and finally 2 Toy Box game discs. Now, while there are 2 Toy Box game discs, I'm only going to focus on Stitch for this video because this is all about Stitch, and I'll talk more about Merida once her episode of All About Disney is ready. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is Stitch's Toy Box game disc. Alright, so this is an image of the Stitch Toy Box game disc. Now what this is it's actually a tower defense minigame. Now if you don't know what tower defense is, basically think of a tower and you have to defend it using many weapons. That's basically what you have to do. You're kind of defending your home using all the weapons you've got against all the nearby enemies. Well, the thing is with Stitch is it probably won't be a tower. I imagine it would be something more beach related, something more related to Lilo and Stitch, or maybe Disney itself. So probably won't be a tower, but you will still defend things. And I do remember seeing some screenshots of this quite a while ago. I'm not sure if they were taken down or anything, but you could explore. It was kind of like a hub world. You could explore this small little area, kind of. I don't know if I would call it playset-ish, I'm not sure if I would say it was just like a playset, but it was definitely a cool little hub world which I think people will enjoy exploring. And the thing I kept mentioning in this video is the environment. So I believe once you finish that Toy Box game disc, or maybe it doesn't even have levels, maybe if you just beat it once you unlock everything. So, or maybe you have to get a high score, something like that. So I think once you do that, or one of those things, you will unlock all the parts and you'll be able to make your own Stitch adventures. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Alright guys, thank you for watching this episode of All About Disney. Stay tuned for lots more news on Disney Infinity 2.0 and of course Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. And as always, please remember to like, comment and subscribe.